What's up, y'all? Thanks for checking out the video today. As you can see, I'm taking a look at the Neca Predator Jungle Hunter. As you can see, give this box a quick spin so y'all can check it out. Welcome to my channel, the Stone Mandalorian. I'm the Stone Mando, or you can call me Stoned or Cody, doesn't matter to me. And like I said, today I'm taking a look at this Predator figure from Neca. And this is from the 1987 version with Arnold Schwarzenegger, the OG, the very first version, of course. And just an awesome movie. I seen it in Target with running errands with my wife, and me and my brother grew up watching this movie. And my collection's mostly like Star Wars focused, but I do have some other figures that I from franchises that I enjoy or grew up watching, like TMNT, Indiana Jones, some Marvel Legends figures, stuff like that. And I seen this in Target with my wife, and I just had to pick it up. I mean, once I opened it up and seen all the paint that was on this thing and all the accessories, and for $35, dude, it was just a no brainer. This is actually my second NECA figure. My first one was the Last Ronin, and I really enjoyed that figure. Enjoyed the comic. Like I said, I am a TMNT fan, so very much enjoyed that. This packaging looks awesome. It's very appealing, and it was actually tucked up in the back. I didn't even get to see the packaging until, like I said, I went through digging. I seen the NECA boxes. I figured, you know what, why not? And I seen this, and I was like, yep, this is of all the ones that I've seen, like the more newer Predators and Predator versus Aliens and all that stuff. This is the OG one. I was going to take this one home with me. Like I said, the packaging looks really awesome, and I'll get this a little close up so you can pause this and read that. So, and then just let me get this out of the way, my little turntable here, and opening this thing up. Drop this down a little bit. There is so much paint, dude. Look at this thing. It is just beautiful. Very awesome, badass inside cover art of the figure itself. Like I said, look at these accessories, man. There is a lot of accessories. Got the extra mask, the alternate head, unhelmeted, obviously the helmeted head. And just like, look at all this paint, man. All the extra deco and so much sculpting. Like, I believe that netting all over his body looks like it's sculpted and then painted. So that's a really, really nice touch. There's a lot of paint on this figure, man. As you can see, all the accessories that come with it, pretty badass. So let's not waste any more time, and because I've had this figure for about 2 to 3 weeks, maybe even longer than that. Yeah, about 2 to 3 weeks, and I've been really ready to get it out of the box. Something else I've just noticed that I liked. I didn't just notice it, but I meant to say it earlier. The backdrop, the jungle backdrop, is really cool. But yeah, I've been really anticipating getting this out of the box, so let me not waste any more time and ramble on. And here's the prayer out of the box, and dude, holy shit. Holy shit. There is so much freaking sculpting and paint on this freaking figure, man. For 35 freaking bucks, man, I am just like, I am blown away. I was blown away at the Last Ronin. But this here, man, this is just insane, dude. Let me give this a spin. You're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 accessories total, man. Not including the alternate head and hands that already come on it, man. This is just like, this is crazy, dude. Look at this. Here, we'll just start off, man. Look at all this paint. This is fucking beautiful, man. Scary beautiful. But like, look at the teeth in here. Look at this. I am so impressed. Look at that sculpt, man. Look at the paint. All this texture in the sculpt itself. I love that speckly black on the top of the brown. And his dreads here. So badass, dude. And it is like a malleable plastic. There's the bottom of the head. Give you a look. This is just so badass, dude. Some pretty clean paint for the most part. Yeah. Like, look at all this, dude. This is insane. There's even paint on the other ones underneath. Like, look at this. God, this is incredible, dude. Wow. That is insane. Look at the gums. That pink color on the gums and the teeth. That is sick, man. I like how it goes from that. It's all kind of shiny, but like you can tell the paint for his gums is a lot shinier. God, that's incredible, dude. Try to keep up with what I'm grabbing if I can. And here is this skull attached to the spinal column. Here's the part of the pelvis right here, the hip joints. Not even the hip joints. Got some nice paint on it too. Also very nice sculpt. See the vertebrae right here running along the back. Nice paint on there. Very badass, dude. Just absolutely insane. Here's the other skull, just the skull. Beautiful paint. Very natural looking with this kind of like fleshy brown tone. Nice sculpt in here. That looks insane. That is a spectacular. Look at all the teeth. That is a spectacular sculpt. God, man, this is insane. And here's his like shoulder blaster. Some of you hardcore Predator fans are gonna be mad at me for not knowing what it's called. Go ahead and let me know down below. But this is a pretty badass sculpt too, dude. This is on a ball joint, so this can move around any kind of way, up or down, up, down, side to side. You see this hinge right here, so you got pivot back and forth. I assume this is how it rests. But then it comes up, and then you can go up or down. See that ball joint down in there? Allows for 360-degree range of motion. And you can see this little peg hole right here. And I believe this is where that plugs in, like this. Yeah, that's pretty badass. So it'd be like so. And I actually like this effect too, this blast effect. I like this translucent blue and the gradient, the transparency, the gradient to the white on the end. That's pretty cool. Nice sculpting in there too. Fits over top of the blaster. His shoulder cannon, whatever you want to call it, whatever it's called. Like I said, let me know below. I'd actually like to know. I like this little hose right here. That's a nice touch. Soft plastic. Nice sculpting on this thing, man. It's wicked looking. We'll put this down to the side for a moment. Here's his mask. The extra one, his helmet, I should say. Got a little bit of weather on it. Some dings in here and there. Got some nice clean red right here. That's badass. There's the inside, just a silver color plain. So freaking cool, man. And here are the alternate hands. Here's one. Pretty clean paint right here, man. Pretty clean paint. And let me try to grab this other one. Oop, throw that back on there. And here's the other one. Some pretty neat paint. His fingernails look good. His claws. I like that, the brown specks right there for his pattern on his skin. And here's the figure itself. And unfortunately, I do have, as you can see, a little bit of warpage here. I don't know if this, kind of don't want to, I don't know, can I put this in hot water and try to bend it back out? Let me know what you think I should do, or if I should just leave it alone. Because, like, honestly, if I pose it the right way, you're probably not even going to be able to tell that much. But it is pretty warped. So that is slightly unfortunate. You can see that how the plastic, it's kind of gapped up here a little bit. So that's a little bit of a bummer. But getting to the figure here, it's fantastic, man. All these extra overlays, the extra deco pieces, these hoses and stuff. There's so much sculpted and paint on this figure. It's insane. For $35, I just can't believe it. I can't believe it, man. Give y'all a quick look at the whole figure real quick. Got his dreads, of course. Looks like he's got a spinal column wrapped around here. So I guess let's get into articulation here. I don't know what these... Kind of scared to move these arms a lot. We do have double pinned joints, so you can get... I'm just scared for this hose right here. You can see this hose right here. I just don't want to push it, but get right at 90 is what I'm comfortable with before the gauntlet starts buttoned up against the bicep. With the knees double jointed bend knees as well. You can definitely get that calf to touch that hamstring, no problem. Splits are not crazy. It does kind of come up out the way. This armor right here, it is like not glued at the top, so you can get a little bit more range, but don't want to stress it. And then getting down to, I'm trying to look at these ankle joints. This is, like I said, this is my second Neca figure, so I'm not super familiar with how the articulation works. This doesn't. I don't even think this had this. This seems like a ball joint ankle, kind of like Black Series starting to do ball jointed wrist. I don't see a hinge here, so as much as be like a ball joint. There's a little bit of side to side, not a lot. A little bit of back and forth, not a lot, but that's interesting. Trying to look at these hands. There, we got a horizontal hinge here on the right hand, and then horizontal hinge here on the I'm sorry, the right and left hand. This is the right hand. So I'm going to try to get a closer view of the sculpt here. I might have to back it. This is a pretty tall figure. I know I believe Neca's a 7-inch figure line, if I'm not mistaken. So, but let's go look at this sculpted a little bit closer. And just look at all this, man. Look at his gauntlet here. The blade, so sick. Beautiful, beautiful paint here. Look at the hands. Clean nails. All this texture of his skin and the sculpt itself, and then all the extra paint just brings it out. Give you a look at his dreads. Malleable plastic, so they all kind of like move individually. Very cool. And they're all painted very cleanly. Like you can move these and see they're all painted underneath. God, there's so much sculpting on this figure, man. It's overwhelming. And see, I was right. You can see this netting is sculpted and then it's painted over. So that is like all this in between right here. You also, I like this as well. Sorry, I was a little off camera there. All this netting right here, painted over a sculpt. Like, look at all that, dude. All that's sculpted. That's insane, dude. Got these cool overlays and all these extra, all these skulls and shit. Look like some like squirrels or birds he's been eating. Some rodents. Sorry, I was out of view there. Like I said, some squirrels or rodents or some birds. Getting on this side, he's got a couple souvenirs. Beautiful sculpting. Look at this hose right here. Kind of a hit the camera. Soft plastic right here. Got some weathering right here on his arms. God, this thing's overwhelming with how much sculpting there is on it. Another hose right here. I really love the way that this looks. Nice pouch right here. I like this this soft rubber. I like the paint it's got going on too. Nice texture. Nice folds in it. More of his armor. Very clean paint. All through here on his little loincloth and his crotch guard. Like I said, these are not glued, so I reckon you can get a little more motion in the hips, I reckon. I'm getting down to the feet. Awesome sculpted feet. Got that little dew claw right here. That's sick. All this, dude, I'm just overwhelmed by the amount of paint and sculpting that is on this thing. Look at that paint, man. This thing is incredible. For 35 bucks, man, I am just truly impressed. And ultimately here, you're not really going to get any shoulder articulation just because of the way that this sculpt is. Like, there's no way this arm is moving. And with all these hoses that are attached to, I just would want to be very careful. You don't want to break these off or warp them or snap them. But now you can get this shoulder up to about that high, but that's about all you get. It's just, like I said, you can see it just right here at the armor, it just wants to bunch up against that sculpt. So as far as our head articulation goes, I forgot about that. So there is side to side. Obviously, he can't really look. He can look up a little bit. Not that's more like straightforward. Not a whole lot of. There's a little bit of head tilt, not a lot, but definitely not a. This might just be me. Maybe somebody's done it before, but not gonna. I don't think you're gonna be able to get this guy into a whole lot of very cool dynamic poses. But maybe when I mess with him a little bit more, and I'll feel a little bit differently. That's sick as hell though. And if you want to get this uh, shoulder cannon blast or whatever it's called here on the shoulder, I was looking at the sculpt and you can see this little peg right here, and then this one right here at the front of his shoulder. Might be kind of hard to see. Let me make sure that's in focus. So this pin right here, and then this one right here. And then what you want to do is, if I can get it to focus again, then you'll look at this one and you can see it's got a little pin right here on the bottom, and then another pin right here. And then that'll just plug into this shoulder joint like so. See that little hole right there? Plug that in there. And I just discovered a hidden feature. Check this out. Look at that. That's sick. They extend out fully. That's pretty cool. And you just shove them right back in together. Just like I said earlier, you can see that this is a pretty deep hinge right here in this hip joint. So you can get more, but it just bunches up the armor sculpt, as you can see. And you don't want to leave it like that on your shelf because then it could start to stay like that. Now this version does have a little more back and forth motion, as you can see. So you can get a little more expression. You can look down a little bit further and look a little bit up, a lot further than the helmeted version. It's also like a little bit of motion, a little bit of thigh swivel in here, as you can see. Just rides over this ball joint. So my overall consensus on this figure and opinion is, while this is definitely not a very posable figure, and it's kind of understandable now, I got really excited for the sculpt, and as cool as the sculpt is, it does hinder the articulation. I can see that now, but this is still an awesome figure, and it coming from Neca, all this paint and plastic is top quality. It does feel good in the hand to mess with. But I do really wish that we could get some more dynamic poses. But as far as him just standing on the shelf and looking badass, there's no problem there. The amount of, I know I probably sound like a broken record, but like I am just so enamored with the amount of sculpting and paint on this freaking figure, man. Like just super, super impressed. All these people are here at the bottom and I just knocked that out. These people were, I should have went on this side. These people are to thank right there, the sculptor and the director and paint right there. John Wardell, Jeffrey Trapp. So, yeah, they did an outstanding job on this figure. And I think this is how I'm going to display him on my shelf. I actually really like this alternate head. I thought I was going to keep the helmeted version, but just the amount of paint and this sculpt is just too badass not to show off. The one thing that I don't like as much, let me just grab out this alternate head real quick. I do like how this one that came with the helmeted version, I feel like the dreads are longer, but maybe it's just me. Maybe it just needs time to like lay because it's been bunched up in the box for a while, but this helmeted head is like really badass. Like the dreads on it are freaking sick. But like I said, if you just want a badass figure and if you're a Predator fan and you just, especially the OG 87 version, and you just want the representation on your shelf, this is the one to get, man. Like I said, not a whole lot of articulation, so no crazy dynamic poses. It's going to look very vanilla on your shelf, but the aesthetic makes up for the lack of articulation. Like I'm just so impressed with the amount of paint and sculpting that is on this figure. But let me wrap this up because I have a tendency to ramble when it comes to figures and just anything that I'm passionate about, and I'm just this is one that I like a lot. I'm a little bummed out. I was really expecting a little bit more articulation. Like I said, this is only my second NECA figure ever, so I don't really know a whole lot. Like my expectations are a little unaltered because I haven't had these in hand a whole lot, other than the last running TMNT NECA figure. But I still recommend this figure to anybody who's a Predator fan. Like this is the amount of extra deco and overlays that go on top, and like I said, the sculpt alone, the buck and the mold is just, and there's so much to look. I feel like every time this figure turns, I have something else to look at, and I notice something else. They have, like, the amount of detail that is on this armor and the attention to detail of like the paint, all the netting that's painted, all this netting is sculpted and then painted over. Like, that's just super, super clean. And I for $35, man, I just figured something like this would be like 45, 50. So super stoked to finally have this in my collection. Like I said, didn't know I wanted a Predator figure in my collection, but yeah, here we are. Like I said, I grew up watching the '87 version with my brother, so I seen it in Target, and I was like, you know what? Why the hell not? So, but yeah, this alternate head right here looks mean as hell. So I hope you enjoyed this review. Leave me a like and subscribe if you did. I'd really appreciate it. Check out some of my other content. As if you couldn't tell from my name, I'm a mostly Star Wars based channel. If you're new here, but like I said, leave me a like and subscribe. I'd very much appreciate it. I hope you're having a great day or night whenever you're watching this. Thanks for watching.